All right, this is episode 1. I'm the man in the chair, talking with Dan Hank. Basically, going to just be making a bunch of videos where I'm going to talk to different people from, just all walks of life. We're both tattoo artists. We're at Third Dimension Studio in Pennsylvania, and I guess let's
go over current
what's
topics.
The deal?
So today's topic is social media and like the way that that's changed the entire world.
Right, the effects of how a lot of these conspiracy videos and other videos.
Well, that's one aspect of it, but yeah.
What's the I guess the question is, where do we draw the line? Because you have two different extremes. One extreme would be a person that basically believes every conspiracy that comes along. Just because it's a conspiracy, they just automatically believe it. And then you got people that just don't believe in anything,
right.
And they think the government does no wrong, and And where does it become dangerous? Where people are spewing information that's just has no
right.
base to it whatsoever, and it's just creatively put together in a way that makes things believable.
I think that that I'm pretty strongly believe in free speech, and I understand though you don't want anything that's like the equivalent of shouting "fire in crowded theater," where it definitely advocates harming people. Right. But I think anything else, when you ban it, like the whole hate speech thing that's going on in Europe and stuff, you basically give people a validation for why it might actually be true, and maybe the government's banning it for nefarious reasons and whatever. So I think just everything should be laid out there. Right. And I think that if it's stupid enough, it'll be ridiculed. And eventually people will go, yeah, I don't want to be stupid like that.
Right. That's kind of like the Flat Earth videos.
Yeah.
Like I was mentioning to you before, where they're censoring cancer videos.
Right.
And you being a cancer survivor also.
Right.
Well,
I'm not dumb enough to have looked at a cancer video and go, oh, that's got to be it. Right. It's more like, I look at, because I did a lot, like, when I first had cancer, I looked into it real deeply.
Right.
But, there were some people who said this, some people have said that. I want to check fucking everything.
But a lot of people do believe these videos. So they'll watch a video that says,
I think that's kind of natural selection in action.
Right.
Like Darwinism, natural selection in action.
I think that is, but I also think it comes to a point where if you have children that are watching this, because a lot of young kids come, they know the media is basically bullshit,
right.
And they know that most of what they see in the media is bullshit. So I think that when they see this secondary information on YouTube, they maybe see adults, they might see someone that
but here's the thing,
and they may believe that person.
I think it's a matter of parenting, because like you don't let a kid who's like 5 see an X-rated movie with like graphic violence and sexuality. Right. So I mean, I don't know why the parents are going, "Hey, internet, have a go at it."
Yeah, I mean that's a different thing altogether. But
I mean, when you're 18 or 19,
how do you block that out of? I know there's different methods of blocking, various things, but I just don't know how. Like you could block sexual content, or
right.
I don't. To be honest, I don't know the exact thing, but I don't know how you would block specifically. But even adults, though, I mean, adults, they see some of these videos that come out, and they're so just the same way a magician can trick you with sleight of hand. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing, but applied to a video where
can't stop stupid people, though. I mean, there's a certain amount of the population that's going to be fucking stupid.
Right, but some people do believe a lot of these crazy. Not that. I mean, we both know that there are conspiracies that are.
They're real, yeah.
They're definitely real conspiracies.
Conspiracies have gotten kind of a bad rap because conspiracy, you think tinfoil hat. There are real conspiracies.
That's my point.
Like the Manhattan Project was a conspiracy.
Right.
So it was secretly. It's obviously done. It obviously happened, but it was a conspiracy to keep it quiet, and they compartmentalized everything until it eventually occurred. Right. So that was a conspiracy that we're well aware of.
Right. But that's where it gets sketchy because you don't know. I mean, as it is, there is no like, we used to have Walter Cronkite in the news, and he would be in Vietnam, say for instance, and he would give the news of the day.
Right.
And that's what it was. He would give the news of the day, but now they give you the news of the day, and they also tell you what you're supposed to think or believe about that news. So we don't really have like a foundation of fact anymore. It's just, if you go this way, you're going to get one. So there's these different views, but it's very difficult to have.
I think it's fear mongering though to say anybody has to control it, because remember the whole thing with like the PMRC, with albums like with Ice-T's Cop Killer and stuff like that,
right?
And they're like, oh man, and they were protesting. They're saying this is driving people to kill police.
Right.
The more you just make it legal and you just put it all out there, people go, oh well, this is kind of stupid.
Right.
Right. It doesn't. It never generates good results when you censor something, because when you censor something, people believe it even more.
Right. You just drive it underground, like the flat Earth, for instance.
Exactly.
Like you have people that would say that. Because that's why they're blocking it, because it's true, and they don't want people to know about this. So
I think the PMRC is a perfect example, because when they made a big deal about records and they started putting that label on them, the reason why they pulled it is they found by putting that label on albums, they made them sell twice as much.
Right.
Maybe even more than twice as much.
Yeah.
Like there's a pretty famous quote from one of the guys from Motley Crue, Dickie Six from Motley Crue, and they said, hey, we have to put a label on your next album. He's like, what does it say? And they said, oh, well, it says sexuality and explicit language, all this. It's like, put that on there. Right. That was their best-selling album.
Right.
So you put that label on something, it just makes it sell twice as much.
Blows it up even more. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it's kind of off a little bit off subject, but in terms of YouTube and Twitter and stuff, we see that a lot of that is being controlled in a way with what information you will get. So to me, that I could see that being very dangerous, because now
people are making a big issue, like you saw the Joe Rogan when they're talking to the founder or the guy who runs Facebook, and they were talking to why do you censor certain things and why is it this way? So if people find out that something is partisan, a lot of people tend to reject it.
Right.
And it gets written off, and eventually people go somewhere else.
Right. I agree.
So the whole reason why Twitter is so dominant is because they pretend like they don't take sides. The minute that they take sides and they admit that they take sides, you're going to have a competitor that says, okay, well, you're on that side, we're on this side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll have to see what's going to happen with that.
I think the answer, though, is always make everything. You can't make stuff illegal. I mean, you're allowed to be an idiot in this country.
Right.
So as long as you let people be idiots and it's clean and open, they'll eventually get weeded out.
Right. Okay. Well, I got a client here, so I'm going to get going. Thank you guys for watching the video.
Thank you.
We'll be back talking about some more random stuff,
politics, all sorts of stuff.
Feel free to leave comments about the video or any topics you'd like to discuss or disagree about. That's basically the whole point of this, is to get various opinions without trying to be a dick about stuff, and try to kind of understand other people's views rather than just act like whatever view a particular person has is the.
Well, that's why it's a conversation. That's why we
which
set
we're
it
not
up.
having
We talk about it.
nowadays, right? Which we don't see much of.
Yeah, you listen to each other instead of just trying to talk over each other.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
I think my concierge here.